right, we're back on Morning Line. It's our final segment talking about, as you see, NFL draft and marathon weather forecast and traffic. Rebecca and Lelan here. Thanks for coming over here. You know, I was just saying, if you've watched over the last couple of days, be it on ESPN or some of the other coverage of the draft building up to it, it shows the backdrop of the city. And it looks just fantastic.
It does.
However you feel about this, unless you just don't want the city to grow in our profile, maybe some people are tired of that. It is good. You talked about how 100 people move here a day. Is that what they're saying?
Right.
That's going to spike after this because it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
The country is going to see this. People in Europe are going to see this, and they're going to, wow, Nashville's a happening place.
And she tweeted out a cool picture earlier today from Sky 5 of NFL Network setting up shop in front of Tootsie's.
Oh. Tootsie's looks like it's added an addition to the front. I mean, there's an entire extra piece of the building. And our assignment desk person told us after we were marveling over that, apparently that's the NFL Network's set.
I guess that's, I heard that. Is that right, Rick? Yeah, that's where the NFL is going to set up there.
So they've got their setup. Fox Sports has their setup. ESPN, I believe, has their setup, and it's another network. But you know, for the first time, ABC is televising this in prime time at night.
Right.
And so they're going to go more from a fan experience and a music angle. But yeah. All of this is fantastic exposure for the city.
And it's the largest footprint for an NFL draft that has ever happened.
Yeah, it just keeps getting bigger is the truth. Now, we're gonna be set up down there as well, right?
Yes. We are on the rooftop of Nudi's Bar. They've got a rooftop bar. It's a place that's been open for a couple of years now, but that's our home for the 6 o'clock news. For tomorrow, sports is going to be there Thursday and Friday night.
Specials at
Talk of the Town will be out
there
at 11 a.m. on Friday.
All right, just to see it is kind of neat. The aerials you guys had this morning were just great.
It's amazing how much they can transform a city in just a couple of weeks.
Well, again, this is the NFL. You'd be hard-pressed to find any organization in this country with more power or money, and they're doing it right in terms of what they've set up. I mean, I have no doubt everyone's like, well, they better clean up when they, trust me. It'll be pristine when they're done.
I just want to hire some of those contractors to do my bathroom.
Exactly. They did this in like a week, and we got to wait 6 months to get our home built or something. Now, what about the scooters? What about people coming down with scooters?
Okay, so Bridgestone Arena is going to be one of the scooter drop-off locations, parking locations.
Yeah.
They do not want scooters inside the footprint.
Really? Why?
Right. Dodging all those pedestrians.
The footprint, again, is not the main stage area. That's even more. But the footprint's that 2nd Avenue, 5th,
Broadway, all the way from 5th to the river. So that's 5 large blocks.
Okay.
And then it includes, 2nd, 3rd, 4th Avenues, where they have all the road closures, basically. That's down to Korean. That's up to Commerce in some areas. So it's a big footprint. It also includes on the east side, Nissan Stadium area. There's going to be parking places for people to put their bikes. That's going to be Public Square Park.
They don't. Okay.
And I would really suggest, if you are close enough to bike, that's going to be the most pain-free way to get in.
Right.
Just make sure you're parking your bike at Public Square Park, at the big bike racks they're going to have for you, and then you're going to have to walk. I mean, this is going to be a big walking weekend.
Yeah, but that's okay. I mean, that's what's great. That's what so many people here are not just coming for the draft. Wouldn't you agree? It's like they're like, well, the draft is there, and this is Nashville, and all we've heard is how cool it is and everything else going on. So walk through the city and enjoy it. Right?
And don't forget about the folks who are coming in early for maybe they would have only gotten here on a Friday. For the marathon. Maybe they come in a day or two early for the marathon so that they can be part of this experience as well.
Now I've heard, has it been confirmed that some state workers have been told stay home and work on these days or on Thursday? I have some friends that work for some businesses downtown that have been told, just do your work from home today.
Yeah, it's smart. I know Metro City offices are closing early. I haven't heard from the state yet, but Hume-Fogg High School is closing early. That's right downtown for Thursday and Friday. Who knows? I mean, maybe some of the parents are just going to go pick up the kids and then walk downtown and enjoy the festivities. And,
and this thing, by the way, wraps up. The draft ends Saturday night, right? Now, Sunday doesn't mean it's all over and they're gone. It's going to take maybe a week for them to break everything down. Have you heard anything about that? How long will the traffic problem still be down there, in what areas? So
the major slew of the closures that we saw go into effect at midnight last night, most of those are going to be up.
By Sunday?
By at least by early morning Monday. There's still going to be some closures in place, though. And honestly, we've had some closures for weeks now.
Yeah, that's true. We have down there as they've been putting that up. But then, the last thing to go will probably be breaking down that giant
and
tent.
then throw some other things too. I think there's a performance or comedian at TPAC one of the nights over the weekend. Jimmy Buffett is at Bridgestone, I believe, Saturday night. Yeah, there were some other concerts in association with the draft itself, but yeah, you've got Buffett and those Parrot Heads are going to be out there on Saturday night. So you've got other things too that are bringing folks into the city.
Every Saturday night in Nashville is like this. I wonder, will your handsome son Taylor be squiring a young miss to a prom downtown?
No, but there are some proms. Yes.
That's what I was going to say.
Who was I talking to? But I was talking to somebody, our creative services director, Richard Eller. Yes. His son is at a prom at the Music City Center Saturday night.
I think someone told me Mount Juliet High School, one of the high schools in Wilson County, is going to be down. There probably will be a bunch. So you're going to have proms too, which actually, if I was going, that would be kind of exciting.
Right, that would be fun.
You'd be in the middle of that for the prom. So proms, Jimmy Buffett, and again, the weekend weather should be okay, right?
Yeah. The deal for Saturday morning, there may be some leftover showers Saturday morning, but pulling out a little cooler, about normal for Friday.
Yeah.
All right. So Friday, 74, a bit breezy at times, but still not bad. Saturday morning for the marathon, we're upper 40s, low 50s at daybreak, so the runners will love that.
That's pretty good weather for a marathon.
Now it's going to warm up to about 75 to 78 that afternoon, so the slower people may have to deal with the heat, but for the early morning folks, they'll love where those temperatures will be. There's a rain chance Saturday night into Sunday. Right now, 20-30%, but the big story from a weather standpoint is going to be tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening with showers and storms moving in.
Not Friday, too much of a problem on Friday.
No, Friday just leftover showers pulling out, just breezy and good dose of sunshine in the afternoon.
That's great.
Okay, so again, it's just going to be rain.
Rain and some thunderstorms. It does not look severe, okay? So, but there will be some thunders. They do have a severe weather plan if it happens.
What is that, by the way? Was that their vote in the Skirmerhorn? If they got bad enough that they had to move some of the...
If they had to move some of the draft stuff because they've already rented out the Skirmerhorn, if they needed to move some live stuff, that's the backup for a heavy rain for the NFL.
Did they actually
because that's where they're making the selections.
Yes.
Is in the Skirmerhorn.
Oh, that's where the room is where all the...
Yeah, that's Selection Square.
Oh, I heard that's another place where you might be able to get one of those cool... Now that I wouldn't mind seeing, you know, all the brain trust sitting there looking and seeing who's going to pick and the phone calls and all of that. And then isn't there a green room, so they say, where the players will be sitting somewhere to the left where they wait to hear their name called, maybe?
We've seen the rows of seats, and then there's, I don't know if you saw this morning, Sky 5 was flying over it, there is a tent looking building that's about a full block, and that's going to be media and basically all the spillover coverage.
And there's another tent that's going up behind the scene.
Yes.
You've got the huge tent that she was talking about to the left of the main stage, but there's another tent now behind Ascend.
Yeah. And we've watched them build the new train platform for the star behind Ascend as well. They got that finished up and ready for this morning. So
think what they're spending to do this. But this is a big show for the NFL. Wayne has a quick question. Wayne, good morning. Hi, Wayne.
Yeah, good morning, Nick.
Good morning.
I know it's late, but I want to give you an update of what I found out yesterday.
For the draft?
For the draft.
Yeah.
I took a walk from 8th Avenue all the way down to the riverfront, and I talked with a lot of Metro policemen. They said they are prepared for anything, so when you come down, don't act like a fool. And I'm saying Saturday it'll be standing room only, and you'll have to parachute in, and I don't know how you're going to get out when you get in.
There's one way to get in.
I'm planning to take Sky 5 personally.
Good luck with Doc. Where are you going to land that bird? I was thinking of bringing my paddleboard down. Is the waterway going to be shut down? Can people come up in boats?
As far as I know.
Yes, I've not heard.
I wonder.
So,
I mean, the General Jackson will be down there, but I mean, just to paddle on down. And he makes a good point. The one thing against the backdrop of all of this that we all hope everything goes smoothly is that security. And we've talked a lot about that. But this really is going to be the busiest place in the country on an incredibly high-profile event. And law enforcement, I have full confidence. But God forbid, I always go back to the Boston Marathon 5 years ago and what happened there.
Right.
And to think that can't happen, you're being naive.
Exactly.
And so I just ask, and I know the sheriff yesterday, and then we had someone from the U.S. Attorney's Office on today, just be really aware of your surroundings. And if you see anything, I don't care, anything that strikes you as odd, report it immediately, because that's my big fear with everything coming down here. Gosh forbid if someone decides to do something stupid. And the security is definitely in place. And keep in mind, Rick brought this out, just for the main stage, it is some of the same rules in terms of getting into a stadium. If you get into the main stage, now that's not 2nd Avenue, the footprint, but bags that are clear plastic, 1 gallon freezer bags, things like this, and things that you can't have. No animals. Why would you bring your dog down
No
here?
animals, yeah.
No. No banners,
Except for
sign.
you.
Yeah, well, Mesh Tater. Bring Mesh Tater down, She would not like the crowd. Backpacks, things like this you all have to watch out for. Most of it's just common sense.
Right, yeah.
But did you say small umbrellas? What were you saying?
Small umbrellas, yes. They said don't bring those big ones. But I think, what was it, up to 36 inches?
I think something like that, yeah.
Okay.
And that's within the draft footprint. I don't know if you're allowed at the actual stage with that.
Okay.
But most people aren't going to be actually inside the stage.
Yeah, you're right. Most people won't, and you're right. The umbrella is not allowed in there. And obviously, things like any kind of weapon, just don't bother with it. Small cameras and binoculars are allowed in general. And as far as most of these requirements in the footprint on 5th, you can bring what you need, because that's just all the places will be open. And you guys, thanks for coming on today.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Half of it. It's
great
exciting
for the city, and as I think Steve Lehman and the sports team have said, outside of the Super Bowl, this is the biggest thing the NFL does.
They're absolutely right. Thanks again, both of you. Let's have some fun. All right. I'll be back to wrap things up right after this.